You're listening to the Reluctant Adult Podcast. If you like what you're hearing, follow us on social media and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This is the way.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million.
This week from the internet. Hasbro forgets their eBay password, sells leftover HasLabs through Pulse. Plus, is McFarlane done throwing shade? The latest animated Batman assortment lacks both a Build-A-Figure and those superfluous paint applications. And Turtle fans can already feel the grease as NECA teases Pizza Club Ninja Turtles. Hi, Super Nintendo Chalmers. It's the Reluctant Adult Podcast.
Don't you be a dummy! Buckle your safety belt!
Think, Billy. It's morphin' time!
Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who puts the Riz in Christmas, Bill.
Hi, everyone. That's right. I just recently learned what the word Riz is.
It's those crackers, right?
That's Ritz.
That's Ritz. Putting on the Ritz.
Riz.
Okay. What is Riz?
Riz was actually the word of the year.
Sure, that makes
by
sense.
some dictionary, yes.
Not Webster's, just some other upstart dictionary.
Was it Webster's? I guess it was Webster's. I don't know. I'm not hip to the dictionary scene.
Is there an alternative dictionary that has different words?
Like the Urban Dictionary?
Well, the Urban Dictionary. Is that still around?
I believe it is.
I feel like that's been polluted, like Wikipedia. Where
oh, yeah.
Anybody... It needs someone... It needs, like, a dedicated moderator. Because you can't just have, like, 30,000 different definitions for every word.
No.
You got to pick one and run with it.
Yeah.
So what is Riz? What is Riz? Two Riz. One has Riz.
Is it two Riz? One has Riz. They
one
have
has
the charisma.
Riz.
The charisma.
Chariz. That makes sense.
Yes.
That's where it comes from. Okay.
Yes. Confidence.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Confidence
On
of a
many fronts.
Podcaster. Second chair
There
on
we
a
go.
podcast. Yeah.
Yes. Put yourself out there.
So, just like Michael Caine in that Muppet movie, I gave you the weekend off from the podcast, so we're recording a little bit later.
Yep, thank you. I appreciate that because it was a stressful week.
It was. It's Christmas. Christmas can be stressful. I think for most people, it's funny because it's like everyone always looks forward to Christmas, but then when you really get into it, it's like, I can't wait until it's over. I can't wait until it's over. We can go back to our normal lives.
I've made
normalcy.
several normalcy is wonderful. I've made myself several promises over my adult life as a Christmas enjoyer. One being getting shopping done as early as possible.
Sure. Which
I'm fairly better at. And the other one is wrapping presents well before Christmas Eve. So,
how'd you fare with those this year?
I didn't wrap anything last night, so that was a clear winner, or the night before.
I was gonna say that last night was Christmas, so that would have been really messed up.
Right.
Sorry,
so Christmas Eve.
Sorry, kids. I blew this one.
Christmas Eve proper. I didn't have anything to wrap. However, I woke up an hour before the kids and putting everything out.
Is that how you do it? You wake up, you set an alarm, and you wake up just right before?
No, I just passed out from exhaustion, and the children woke up at 4:30 in the morning.
That's too early. That's too early.
Go back to bed, kids. Oh, we can't. We're too excited. Once I'm up, I can't go back to sleep, Dad.
Yeah. That's what happened with our oldest, where we said, don't even dare wake us up before 7 o'clock. Don't even dare. And of course he was up at like 1 a.m. And he comes in and he's like, he's like, can we go? And I just like point at the clock, like, get out of here. And he later confessed that he snuck out there and looked at his presents, which who among us hasn't done that? Did you ever sneak down and look at your presents?
Maybe once in my
just
life.
Once? Oh,
just
man.
once.
You really excited that year?
I remember
Technodrome.
the Technodrome I found at a Boy Scout yard sale.
That's right. You never had that as a child.
No, I had it as a child, but I just had it well after it came out. So,
okay.
Yeah, no, it was just one of those like $2. There's a Technodrome at the Boy Scout yard sale back in like 1992.
Okay.
93, 94, something around there. So it's
Damn.
still kind of into Turtles, but yeah. But no, there was, if I can recall one time, and I felt great shame for doing it as a kid. And
yes.
we were just, I woke up, the stocking was hung by my bed. With care, of course. And I looked at it. There were several unopened toys. There was.
Wait, your stockings are hung by your bed?
Well, at the time with my parents hung them by the bed. So we'd hang them out, and then we'd hang them out on our doorknob, and then my parents would put them on the bedpost in the morning.
Oh. So Santa doesn't bring the stocking.
No, that's also the illusion too. So my parents doing it with the intention of saying Santa filled the stocking.
Oh, so Santa does fill the stocking.
Correct.
At your house currently? Is that how it happens?
At the house currently, we have 2 separate wrapping papers for parents and for Santa.
Oh, Santa wraps the presents at your house.
Santa does wrap them. However, he doesn't give every gift.
No. The parents need to get some credit. You can't have Santa Santa does not bring, like, the N64. He brings, like, the mid-tier present.
Right.
Where it's, like, maybe it's, like, if we couldn't find it, we'd be like, well, Santa messed up again, kids. Sorry.
So we do our best.
We're drunk. Couldn't make it this year.
We do our best when Santa is present with the kids. And they get, like, their photo with him, and he asks them what they want. Yeah. We try to pay attention exactly what the kids want.
Sure.
And at that point, that makes it proper. So Eloise wanted Barbie, so she got Barbie wrapped in Santa paper. And Will wanted B-Slab, so B-Slab got wrapped in Santa paper. Everything else got wrapped in snowman paper.
Was that the one that came directly from Moose?
No, I still have that one. No,
you haven't.
I still have that one.
Still. Oh, they're gonna make you send it back. They're gonna make you send it back. Sorry, Moose.
I should have just lied to you.
Sorry, Moose.
No, B-Slab. What a great product. What a lot of fun.
I mean, it's great, right? It's so much fun.
You have to. So this year was filled with like presents that all have gimmicks.
Yeah.
You know, they something pops out, but they were all messy. The B-Slab is not messy.
No.
It's a very, you imagine, maybe
it will be. It's self-contained.
It's contained. And they even have you screw the top of the beaker back on, so when you remove the lid, all the contents are still sealed up. Yeah. So it is a very clean, interactive toy. So I did enjoy.
There's a little bit of the residue from the smoke.
I noticed
a little bit. It's like if you use your phone immediately after, you'll notice like later where it's like, what is this? But nothing too bad. That's just I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. That's how fog works.
You're not putting a paper towel under it or anything like that.
No, something
not like that. No, it's great.
Yeah, I thought it would be super messy. It wasn't at all. It was great.
But yeah, no, Christmas was good. I did get most everything done. We did something different this year, so we only did kids' gifts on Christmas throughout the whole family, so even the extended family. So I still have presents in the pipeline for the adults. So we had kid Christmas, and now we're having adult Christmas coming up soon.
Adult Christmas. Okay.
Adult Christmas. You're right.
Now, I don't know if that is allowed.
How so?
I think the presents need to be opened on Christmas proper.
Are you also on vacation like me?
I am. Yep. Until the day, until New Year's, the day after New Year's Day. I guess I have to go back.
Same
here.
If
I want to, I don't know. Okay. We'll see what happens. By then, it's always like, do I even want to go back? I don't know. Let's do the podcast full time.
We're almost there. But yeah, so So I mean, there's only so many hours in the day, and even with my wife's side of the family, those we haven't seen them either, and they're all sick. So that was like a godsend, practically, just to be like, well, that's one thing to actually cut out. So now, like any time expended with my direct family, I can be like, yep, we'll be right over, as opposed to, yeah, we're coming along, we're still at so and so's house. So it's good. It worked out.
I hate having to ping pong between multiple houses.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it.
No, I can't. Like this year, we were the destination, and that was nice.
That's good.
Although I do like you get to choose when to leave. The part of visiting other people. It's like, well, kids gotta go down to sleep, gotta be going.
Time to hit the old dusty trail.
Dusty trail. I guess you could say the same thing here, where it's like, please leave. Our children need to sleep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you had a good Christmas, and it continues on. Looking forward to. We'll still have one more show before New Year's, so this is not our New Year's show. We'll save that for the one we, in theory, record in a couple days. We'll see how that goes.
This is the short week. This is our short week.
This is like basically bonus material. Like, thank you for watching if you are.
Listen. Yes, I made you wait on the show. But by the end of the show, you're going to feel so bad for me. So, all right, let's just keep going forward.
Well, no, I need to know. Why did I feel bad for you? What happened?
No, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave you on the hook.
There's going to be a natural segue into the story?
Until midway. Yeah.
Well, you only gave me 2 things for the list, so it's either because you watched Rebel Moon, and that's why I feel bad for you. Or
you should.
Else. Yeah. Listen, no one twisted your arm. All right, very good. Hasbro. What?
Nobody twisted my arm. They literally twisted my arm.
Did they?
They called it Zack Snyder's Star Wars. They put the word Star Wars into it. I was immediately curious.
Who did?
I don't know. That was how it was billed. Like that was the pitch.
Wow.
This was like supposed to be. And this is the movie he pitched to them.
There was a trailer, and it's just all like sand. And I think I tweeted at the time. I was like, we need to stop. Like, maybe this is based on a book that came out before Star Wars, but we need to stop with the sand. Like, I know Dune came before Star Wars, but enough of it. No more movies with sand.
We're as sick of sand as Anakin Skywalker is, people.
It's so coarse and grainy. Unless it's present day, and it's the beach, and it's the sequel to Baywatch, starring Zac Efron, as he currently looks with his... Like, what is it that, like, the character from SpongeBob, like, handsome Squidward? That's what he looks like now. Celebrities make some decisions with their bodies. It's not great.
It seems like Zac Efron is just kind of in that period where it's just like he just does that to his body, which good for him. He's in shape, but man, it takes too much dedication to do that.
Yeah, and it's like you're not Christian Bale over here. We don't need you like these extremes with your like body for whatever, like the Thin Man movie he was in, and he was fat playing Cheney. Like, you're not gonna win any awards. What are you doing to yourself? You're gonna kill yourself. God. Anyway,
all right. Well, back to Hasbro.
Hasbro gave dozens, literally dozens of their fans an early Christmas present as they introduced us to the concept of the Hasbro Vault. Now, interesting enough that they used this terminology because Jazzwares, another toy manufacturer, is coming out with a concept called Jazzwares Vault, where they will, it's basically Hasbro Pulse. So, like, I don't know if Hasbro just wanted to get on the board first and be like, we called it. So that's not confusing at all. And then there's the Disney Vaults. I feel like
that's
we can't
who you
use
gotta
vaults
blame.
Anymore.
That's who you have to blame for all of this because it's such hype. It's like coming out of the vault. Sure, you stop putting it out when it was profitable to put out on tape. And now you're bringing it back out for a new deluxe tape. Whatever. Yes. So tell us more about the HasLab Vault.
No, it's funny what you just said, because it's like in some parts of the country you say pop instead of soda, and then like you said tape, but I would say video or video cassette. But it's funny that you say tape. It's just, videotape. Different stroke. Videotape. Sure.
That's okay.
So Hasbro, they've been doing this HasLab concept for a while. They did Jabba Sail Barge, Galactus, Sentinel, some Transformers that I don't count, the Proton Vac from Ghostbusters. Most recently, they had the Trap from Ghostbusters, and then they had some that didn't do too well, like Ghost Rider. Cookie Monster, and then
The Rancor.
the poor Rancor. Yeah, Rancor didn't make it. Those ones that did make it, some of them, they had some leftovers. And now you're probably asking yourself, well, wait a minute. The whole concept is 5,000 people backed this, only 5,000 were produced. That's kind of the deal. Like, why are there extras to go around? Well, with anything, there have to be extras because sometimes their item gets lost in the mail or it's defective. Sure. There just have to be extras. There's a customer service process.
Factory minimums, that kind of stuff.
Well, sure, right.
Yeah.
We'll get into that when we talk about NECA a little bit later, because but yeah, so there just are. It's just a fact. There are extras. Not a lot. We don't know how many. Judging from how quickly they sold out, maybe 100. Like, there's really no way to know. But so this, they had, it wasn't everything. It was the Proton pack. It was, what else?
I think it was the Sky Striker.
Okay.
From G.I. Joe. Unicron made an appearance.
Unicron probably the biggest deal because that's one of the older HasLabs.
Correct. I think that was the second HasLab. Actually, was it Cookie Monster? And then he was early. Let's say second, top three.
Yeah. So
without having to look it up right in front of us because that takes too long.
So these went up for their original retail price. So if you wanted it, or you wanted to flip it, because some of the earlier ones, are worth a lot of money.
Sure.
And you had the funds. That was the other thing that people are like, 2 weeks, 1 week before Christmas, you want me to drop $500? Like, what? But there was just such limited product. Like, it was literally minutes that these were up. And when did they even announce this was happening? I feel like this was a surprise.
So they announced something and they said big is coming. Something big is coming.
That's their big word. That was what they said for Ghostbusters.
Something big is on the way.
Something big.
And I forgot completely, and you and I are not current active Pulse Premium members, so of course...
Right. Our memberships, like literally a week ago, ended.
And that's, that's fine, because realistically, what was I buying for except for free shipping? And...
Well, exactly. That
was it.
We'll get into that too, but yeah, that was it. Because they don't give you free shipping if you spend over X amount. It used to be like spend over 100 or something.
Sure.
And you get free shipping, but no, nothing. So
not a thing. You get nothing.
Nothing.
As Willy Wonka would say.
Good day, sir.
Good day to you. Yes. So this went up and it was one of those, hey, it's up at 1 p.m. Eastern, whatever. That's how it typically is. And then people were complaining, the age old, it was in my cart and then it was gone.
Oh, yes. Age old story.
Yes. And it was a 2-day event. They promised no Star Wars, so the sail barge was safe. I don't know. I don't know how they could have made this better, but I heard it was a disaster.
Well, it's a disaster in terms of a lot of people wanted things and not many people actually got them. So, but from Hasbro's point of view, they got rid of some stock. They made some money. So it really depends on which side you're looking at. I'm looking through the slideshow here. There was Hero Quest. That was on there. Okay. There's Unicron, the Proton pack. This Transformer friend. It doesn't have his... It's like in Japanese. I don't know who he is. There's the Sky Striker for the 4-inch figures. And that was it. So not a lot.
That was it. Okay.
No Marvel.
No more. Okay, so no Sentinel.
So not a huge... Galactus. No Sentinel, no Galactus,
Okay.
So not a, clearly... this, literally, they were just clearing out some stock that they had. Where extra. Like, in someone's closet, they had, a couple, and they're like, it's been long enough. Nobody's reported missing a thumb or something. Yeah, Mr. So let's just get rid of this stuff. Yeah, Mr.
Steve Evans hiding them all.
Right, they're all... he, made a chair out of all the boxes. His throne.
Yeah, get out of here. What's up with that?
Get out of here. Giving away... Giant Man. So that's what it was. So in the future, maybe we'll see this again, but maybe not, because you would think they would have exhausted their stock of these items, unless there are different items. So maybe in a few years when we have a few more HasLabs. But do you think that this is a problem because now this will be in people's minds and maybe they won't be as likely to to pay the extra bucks on the secondary market, which is the reason that people buy multiples to try to flip, to try to make back some of that money that they're spending. Has Hasbro created like a snowball situation here?
That's a good. I mean, if you're dealing with such limited quantities, it's literally like the lottery at that point and playing that game. So, and again, why risk it? You know, if you're that interested in something like that, buy it when you see it, and then deal with the repercussions afterwards.
Yeah, so, I think that's fair. Yeah,
I mean, you got guys right now on like social media who have like the maximum like 5 HISS tanks, and they're trying to sell them off because they bought them, and I think they're at this point where they think they figured it out. Like, oh, we're jumping on the bandstand of flipping, and it's like working out for them terribly. So you just funded the project, and now you're sitting on the stock that you have because everybody else did it as well.
The HISS tank came out at a time when there were other HasLabs that were going for more money on eBay.
Sure.
I think maybe the Sentinel was coming out around then, or maybe it was Galactus. There was something that made people think that this was a good investment. So they're like, well, might as well. Because you got all the tiers. You got lots of things. So it's like you could either part it out or send it. Like, it seemed like a good deal because of all the stuff you got.
Yeah.
But because so many people shared that thought, you have a glut. You have oversaturation.
It's like the Ross equation and why kids didn't get any toys for Christmas.
The what? The Ross equation?
Right, no, just a similar situation.
Oh, you mean the store Ross?
The store Ross.
Because the adults bought all the toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, kids. Did you go to a Ross like the day before Christmas? I wanted to see what it looked like because everyone was posting that it was picked over completely.
There's none local to me, so.
That's right. Did you go to any store to see what it looked like?
I went to Target today and was very surprised with the amount of product that was still on the shelf.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I don't know if it was just better distribution or if people are a little, it's probably a little bit of column A, column B. I think in years past we definitely had. Correct. I think in years past distribution has been a big issue, but I'm used to seeing the Barbie aisle completely wiped out. Action figures. I think the biggest pull from this year was, again, at least in my area, was Jurassic Park. Very empty.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but plenty of Transformers left, and I mean nobody. Stores closed yesterday, so they're putting new stock out today. So the conditions were the conditions leading up into the holiday. But yeah, NECA was kind of, I think the NECA section, the collector section was pretty empty. And I think that's by design. People are just like, oh, so-and-so likes this, I'll buy it for him. It's like the Funko Pop stuff. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
So-and-so likes the Golden Girls, here's a Gladys.
No.
Is there a Gladys?
There's no Gladys. Sophia, Rose,
Gladys.
Dorothy, and Blanche.
Okay.
Yeah.
So close.
There you go. Very close. I'm sure one of their friends is named Gladys.
I'm sure there was a Gladys.
I'm sure there was a Gladys somewhere. So speaking of the Hasbro Vault, this was not something that was in the Hasbro Vault because it was not a HasLab project.
Yeah.
But Hasbro thought it might be a good idea to take their properties and mash them all up with those Mego aesthetics, those Mego bodies. I think it is official Mego product too, right? Like it has the Mego logo on there.
Yeah.
So they
Mego
did two
X
sets.
Hasbro, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they love the X. So they did two sets. They had a Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow for G.I. Joe, which is I think still on there. And then they did the Ghostbusters as Mego figures, which is so funny because if you remember back in the day, Mattel had the Ghostbusters license, and they did real Ghostbuster Megos, which makes no sense because real Ghostbusters were 80s into the 90s, and Mego was 70s. So it's like the fandoms do not overlap at all.
No.
And like people really, like I really wanted real Ghostbuster figures at the time, and to get these, it was such a letdown, and they were terrible.
That's true, and I think people did generally want to see them as the actual actors. So
if you were gonna do
gonna
Migos,
do
do
'em,
them
right.
as real actors. But if you're gonna do real Ghostbusters, don't make them Migos. What are you doing? And they didn't even look like the cartoons. It was crazy.
No.
So anyway, Hasbro did Migo Ghostbusters based on the film, a 4-pack. I think it was $60 originally. They did a clearance, and it was $20. And someone just randomly posted it on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I kind of want it. I didn't want it for 60. And I like Migos well enough, and I just like there was just something in me that like I want to see what they're like. You know how I like to see, like I haven't seen what Hasbro did with the Migo body. Like, is there a rubber band in there? Like, did they design it better than Mattel did? So I'm like hemming and hawing. But as we mentioned, my Premium Pulse membership expired. So I didn't get the free shipping, so I was gonna have to pay an extra $7. So it was up to $27.
Right.
And I'm like, oh well, maybe I'll buy 2, and it's still only $7 for shipping. And then in my head is like, well, I can sell the other one, but then it's like, well, it's $20. Nobody, like, clearly people don't want these. How much am I gonna be able to sell it for? So
and then
I'm
you assumed that I still had mine, and that's when I had to reveal to you that mine also lapsed.
I finally made a decision that I did want them, and I asked you if you could just buy them, and then I would reimburse you,
Ship them down, yeah, right.
and then never do it and never pay you back as a joke.
Makes
but
sense.
but then you told me, your subscription had lapsed as well. So finally, I don't know when it was, Christmas Eve or something like that. I was like, you know what, 27. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna check it out. And I hop on there, and I see it's sold out.
Darn.
So I had a good like 3 days to get them, and I waited too long. Word spread. I started seeing people posting it, and like I don't know how many they had left, but it was I was too late.
I saw someone post a photo of them. They're very shiny. So
I don't think they're good. I'm just like that morbid curiosity where I'm like, what could this be like?
Right, how is it engineered? What's the aesthetics of the
like,
figure?
what does the proton pack look like? Can I put it on
Yeah.
someone like the flight suit? Because do you remember I made my own custom ones?
I do.
Where there's like these Migo communities that just sell replacement parts, and someone sold white spacesuits, which is either something they created or something from an actual previous line, and I would dye them. I dyed all of them that tan. So they're all like slightly different, but pretty good. Like I feel like I did a good job. But I never had the heads. So I was just using existing Migo heads from these reproducers. So Al Bundy was Peter because they had an Al Bundy look-alike head. Yeah. So like I was in my head, at least I was like, well, if nothing else, I can get these actual heads and put them on there. But I waited too long. But you said that these will probably show up at Ross next year. So that'll be something to look forward to. I can wait another year. That'll be a nice surprise.
Right. No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll show up at Ollie's. They'll show up at Ross. I'm surprised they haven't already, but that's fine. It does seem like
maybe that's
Ross
who
and
bought
Ollie's.
the last. That's who bought the last container of them.
Yeah.
They'll show up next month. I was like, hey, there we go. Pretty cool. You showed me a photo of this Diamond Select Toys House of Dragons action figures.
I did show you that, right?
And I honestly thought this was AI because it looks so bad. It doesn't look like a real toy.
No. Okay.
And what is going on? First of all, who are the characters that they chose to do?
You get Daemon. Yeah, you get Daemon Targaryen, and then you get Viserys Targaryen. So you get the king and his brother.
And the king is portrayed in that like final stage before death look.
Right. So when he takes off his golden mask at the dinner table and he's just
his
all
Phantom
rotted
of the
away.
Opera mask. Yeah.
And then, I sent that to you, and then some of the images were blurry, and then some of them were a little less grainy, and then some were clear. But like, who wants these figures?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right mind? And the proportions on the bodies are weird. That's the other thing. It's like, what are these supposed to look like? What line? It's like they're almost over exaggerated, and maybe that's just the armor.
Oh yeah, I did.
But it almost looks like an anime figure.
Sure.
Just very bizarre. I don't know. Very bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know.
But maybe these will be out by the time the second season airs. So I think they're working on that. But just not great. Just not like super good.
Diamond
but
Select
again, these are
always
prototypes.
Yeah, they are prototypes. They're probably digital renders, what have you. But
No, I think
Go
these
back.
are hand painted. These
really?
look a little. These look like rougher. I don't know if they even Diamond Select even does digital sculpting.
Oh,
like
no.
these look like they were like chiseled.
be a little
the-
more
the
exciting with
old
your
ways.
offerings. But Diamond
Yeah.
Select has always been a little strange with the action figure community. I feel like they have some good ones, and then they have ones that just like stick around, and then they're doing banks, and then they're doing all sorts of other stuff that I don't know,
It's like they take what's available.
busts. Sure.
There's like, well, this company already has the license to do this scale. It's like, well, can we do them an inch larger? Like, sure, whatever
Right.
you want.
Why
It's
the
like,
heck not?
Can we do statues, but they're made of plastic and small? Like, yeah, I guess if
Yeah.
you want. Can we make this a bank? Like, what?
Sure.
You're gonna pay it?
can we-
Okay.
Can
Sure.
we make
get money?
hyper cool Lego figures that aren't Lego but like a little bigger? Oh, why not?
It's like, yeah, Lego. These are like kind of like Lego, but people don't really like them. Okay, yeah, do that for 20 years. Okay,
Just go.
yeah, just a weird. There's just something weird about Diamond Select, and
Yeah.
I know the guy that used to work for Toy Fair magazine. I think Zach Oat is his name. With the mutton chops, you know this guy.
Sure.
I'm
gonna say yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you. If you see him, you know. I think he works for them. So it's like I'm always pulling for them. But the stuff they make, it's always like just a little outside what I would want. Like those Darkwing Duck figures. It's like a few years ago, or more than that at this point, because there's been a few companies that have made Darkwing Duck. It's like, oh, Darkwing, like well articulated, multiple accessories. Like, yeah, but then you look at them, and it's like it's a 2-pack with Negaduck, and it comes in like a giant box. It's like, well, this is weird. This isn't
Yeah.
what I wanted. I don't know. But they're trying. They're trying their best. I'm sure there are reasons for everything they do. There was a story this week that a family bought $10,000 in Disney gift cards, only to find out that they were Disney Plus gift cards, which can only be used for a subscription to
Yes.
Disney Plus. There's no, like, you can't buy Disney items through Disney Plus. Like, it's like buying a Netflix gift card, which
Right.
I always thought was bizarre. Like, you get that and you're like you're giving somebody a Netflix, like, here's 1 month of streaming. Like, thanks.
Oh,
Isn't this like a
here's-
free thing? You get a
Yeah.
free month of streaming.
There
What is
you
this?
are. You're knocking that, but I know you had tons of AOL floppy disks for 100 minutes back
Listen,
in the day.
Those were collector items.
They're
And
collector
also,
items now.
think about the internet. The internet today is never ending. There's never a time we're not on the internet. But when
Sure.
AOL came out, it was a finite commodity.
Yes.
You had to pay per minute, and then you had to pay per minute for being on the phone. Do you remember having to pay per minute to be on the phone when you talk to people? Imagine being online and paying for every minute that you were online.
Sure.
Twice. So these were like free, so many free hours of AOL. And it's like, oh, these were gold. But more than that, they were physical items. If you remember floppy disks, it was like a plastic square, and it had the little metal thing that would flip back and forth. So it was like a fidget toy on top of
Right.
that.
Right.
But they had these everywhere. It's like checkout at Home Depot, like, and they were all unique. They had different colors. Like, these are legit collector's items. If you look on eBay now, they sell for money. People collect them. They're great. I had
believe
gold ones. Oh, I love the gold ones.
Man, look at I just set you right up there for something completely
Yeah.
good for me. Pat on my back.
Non sequitur. Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Sure thing.
So back to the Disney family. So this Disney family, and first of all, who was buying tens of thousands of dollars in gift cards for anything like that? What? But someone was
Right.
explaining that it was probably like through Costco.
Sure.
And it's like, you're going on a vacation to Disney. You know you're going to spend $10,000, which is insane to start with. But, you know you're going to spend X amount. So it's like they probably have deals where it's like you got 20% over. So they only spent like $8,000 and they got an extra
Right.
$2,000, which is kind of crazy. But
a lot of
yeah,
people do that at Target with these gift cards too. If they're
when
red
they have
card
the sales.
members and they can do it for
Right.
5%. You know, every little bit counts towards it.
100%. I mean, if you know you're going to spend the money,
But- right.
why not? It makes sense. But so they bought Disney Plus and they're like, oops. It's like the Simpsons episode where he bought Itchy and Scratchy Land money and then it's like
Yes.
not accepted anywhere. And
Right.
It's like, oops. It's like, what's the difference between this and real money? It's more fun.
Right. It's kind
not
of
so much fun now.
more fun. No.
So I don't know what they did, but this became a story that was in the news.
Yes.
And then Disney, sensing that this was a feel-good story, stepped up and agreed to transfer the money into actual Disney dollars that they can use in the parks. So the story had a happy ending, but like I feel like great. But like, are they going to do this for every idiot that does this? Like the next guy, he's going to be stuck with 200,000 years of Disney Plus.
Oh, I mean, if that's I guess, and that goes back to like, do you really need a physical card to say, hey, I got you a Disney Plus membership or a Netflix membership or something like that? Why can't you just like print it out or show like send
Who
it
is
digital
gifting
email?
Streaming? Who is gifting a month of streaming? What a bizarre gift. Like maybe back in the day when it was a novelty and people didn't understand how it works. But it's like, there's a show I want to see. I'm just going to do it because there's a free trial. Like you're gifting me a free Gmail because that's all you need to get a month.
Nice.
Just create a new email address.
What was my odd thing, and people are going to tear me apart for this. I have a coworker and her gift to her mother-in-law, and this just goes back to me being like, equating everything. You need to have like a physical representation of how much you care about someone. So here's actually something physical. Her gift to her mother-in-law was taking her out to eat at a restaurant for dinner. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I guess that's nice, but
instead of giving her the gift card to the restaurant, she's going to be present.
Correct.
She's going to like take her.
She's going to take her. Yes.
It's like Banya on Seinfeld. He's like, I want my meal, Jerry.
Right.
I want my meal.
It was just soup.
And she's just going to get
Soup's
soup. That wasn't a meal.
Yeah.
That was soup. That was the meal. That was the meal. Well, I mean, that's unique, I think. Make it a whole experience. I mean, I think that's okay. Better than a month of Netflix.
I suppose.
So bizarre. Whatever. Oh. So McFarlane has been pumping out these Batman the Animated Series figures with the awful cell shading that we all agree ruins the figures. But it comes with a nice Build-A-Figure, which is a new character. This newest set that is not out yet, but it will include Lock Up. It's a new character, large fellow. Somebody leaked photos of Batman, the New Adventures, or the New Adventures of Batman, whatever it was called. And this is the redesign. It started on Fox, and then the WB was like, give me that. And they redesigned all of the characters to reduce the number of colors used, so it was cheaper to make. But honestly, this is my preferred way. And I know you disagree, but I've heard some people agree with me that they like the sleeker looks.
No, that's fine. And that's fine. But coming off, I was at the point where it was like, why did they do what they did? We had very nicely
illustrated. It was cost saving.
I know. At the time, I didn't know that. At the time, I didn't know that.
Of course not.
Now it's like it was like, this is a completely different show. Why should I even bother?
But I also feel like the animation looked better because of that.
Here is my
there
one.
Were less colors.
The one character I liked was the Scarecrow redesign. I think that was it. That was as far as it went, because everything else was just like, it was too cartoony, and it was just not what I preferred.
Some of them were more extreme, like the fact that the Joker did not have like defined eyeballs was a little weird.
Yep.
I mean, some of them were weird, but as far as the Batman himself, I much prefer the newer Batman.
Okay.
This is all to say that McFarlane is starting to do re-releases of figures from that series, that era of Batman. And again, these are all previously produced figures from DC Direct. But here's one of the big things. These do not have cell shading.
Oh.
Which is a huge deal to me. Yeah. Now, I don't know if this is just like, this is one of the things that is going to differentiate these figures, because there are some other differences. These figures do not have a Build-A-Figure from what I can see, but they do have what looks like a big cell from, like, if you got like when they used to shoot cartoons like with film and you would draw like one cell per frame. Right. It looks like it comes with a replica of that.
Oh.
Which is cool. I think that's cool. Much better. Yeah.
That's cool.
So those are coming out maybe. They have not been officially solicited, but somebody had like packaged photos of them. So
very nice.
I'm sure that is happening. And then while we're talking about Batman the Animated Series, Mezco dropped a bomb that they are doing Batman the Animated Series in their 5 points line.
Yeah. And they had a bundle.
And these are very reminiscent of those original Kenner figures.
They are.
In terms of the packaging. And then the size, I think the Kenner figures were 5-inch and these are going to be 4-inch.
Right.
But very similar. And the gimmick here is they only have 5 points of articulation. So instead of having elbow articulation or knee articulation, they come with alternate arms that are posed a little different, maybe holding an accessory. So you can switch your arms around, which I think is a very creative way of doing this.
That is creative. It's very,
I also think the price tag is very fair because there's a bundle of 4 figures and it comes out to $20 per figure. And then there's a Batmobile, which I think is only like $44, I want to say.
Oh, that's insane.
Let me just
made
double
out
check
of
because I don't
air?
want to.
Jeez.
Well, no, I think it looks good. Like it
does look good.
$45. You can get
Wow.
it. You can pre-order right now on Entertainment Earth.
Ooh.
And it's to scale with the figures, and they go in there. There's the cockpit, even the little part of the wheel that would pop out that would like cut open the other wheel is there.
Oh.
And it's got the fire in the back. So this looks pretty legit.
Nice.
And the box, I mean, it looks almost exactly like the Kenner box. So clearly inspired from that Kenner Hasbro stuff. But I'm really excited for those.
Yeah, they look good, and that price, the bundle price is $125, so it's beautiful. 4 figures plus a vehicle, awesome
Right?
stuff.
You can't beat that for a Batman product. So the company that has the main DC license right now is McFarlane. And they teased something today. It's a silhouette of Batman from Batman versus Superman. And I'm sort of like, why is this something that you're teasing? Like, have you not made this character? Like, technically you haven't made it from that movie, but you've made an Affleck Batman.
Okay.
And it's not like it's not like a huge departure from any of the other looks he had as Batman.
Right.
So it's like, why are you teasing something that's not that exciting? Like, save the teases for something that, like when you did the Batman from like the '89 Batman, like that you should have teased. But this is just like, okay,
tease Inc. from Batman Forever, something like that.
If you're gonna do Inc.,
yeah,
tease that Two-Face and Riddler from Batman Forever. So I ordered the Batman and Robin, the 4-figure set from Target, and everybody's been getting their orders canceled. Now I'm among those. My order has been canceled. It's like we knew the deal was, because this was when these went up for pre-order during that week when there was like every DC item was on sale. So it's like everybody kind of knew like this is probably too good to be true, and it was. So now I'm on the hunt to pick up that set.
Sure.
Because people are getting them, and they look, honestly, this is probably the best DC product that McFarlane has put out to date. Like, they look good. Even the likenesses look good.
Well, I'm hearing a lot of good from that.
Yeah. And I was concerned that the Mr. Freeze figure did not include that Freeze gun, Freeze Ray, because DC usually doesn't let them include weapons like firearms.
Okay.
But it's there. It's safe. And I feel like that's pretty important. You really need that in there. But going back to the New Adventures of Batman figures, one of the figures in that set is Two-Face, and originally he came with a Tommy gun, but I do not see it in the carding. So they are very strict about this, no guns with their Batman figures.
Way you gotta be these days. It's just how it is.
But Marvel doesn't care. Hasbro's putting out guns with all their figures.
I don't know.
It really concerns me if they re-release that ventriloquist figure.
Sure.
Because he goes for like $300 on eBay right now. But the ventriloquist, like the actual dummy, he has a Tommy gun, which is obviously, but it's a real gun. I was going to say it's like a toy, but like that's what actually fires, because the whole deal with that character is the ventriloquist is insane, and he thinks the dummy is a real entity, and he controls him.
Right.
So it'd be really weird to release that figure without the gun. So maybe they're going to hold off on that, or I don't know what, but that would be really unfortunate.
That would be.
Did you get your NECA turtle van?
Yes.
Did you open that up?
Not yet.
No. So that was shipping. Some people have not got them. It seems like they are shipping in waves, and some
Right.
of the waves have been delayed because they're stuck in a shipping container and nobody wants to pay like a lot of money to get them unstuck.
Ah.
So that's out. And then also the Super 7 party wagon is hitting, and people like that one as well.
Yeah.
But have you seen that the stickers are the wrong size
On the Super 7?
on the Super 7 one? Yeah.
No, I have not.
So some of the stickers are either too big to fit where they're supposed to fit, or they're too small and they look weird.
Oh. My son got
So it's
the...
a whole mess.
That is a mess. My son got the Mutant Mayhem pizza thrower turtle van. That thing's great.
Is it?
It's a lot of fun. The air motor that shoots out the pizzas, it makes the very same whirring noise that the original one makes.
Oh.
So it like brings you right back to playing with that toy. And then the pizzas themselves have a little like warning sticker on the bottom that has like a pet and a person like crossed off. Like, don't shoot this at them.
Like, that says, this will take care of those guys. Knock them
right,
right out.
right.
Did you get the sewer? The lair?
I got the layer.
Yeah. Did you open it?
Something opened it, but yeah.
What?
That's all just part of that.
Is this your bad news?
The bad news side of things.
Okay.
So yeah, something.
Well, we're
opened
talking about the Playmates one though, right? Not the NECA one.
We were talking about the Playmates one. So.
Did you order the NECA layer?
Oh no, I didn't touch that.
No.
Yeah.
So that somebody on the shipping containers for these items, somebody had the party wagon and they had the layer. And for the party wagon, it was like almost 8,000.
Oh.
And then but for the layer, it was 2,486.
Oh really?
So they were speculating that is the total run for the layer, which
Okay.
is very low. Because NECA didn't do this as like a crowdfunding where it had to reach a minimum.
Right.
They were just like order it, and they just thought people would. But a lot of people did not.
Well, so like I've noticed that with my Toka and Razar set, the shipping container, I bought 2. They put 2 in the package, but they labeled it as such. So does this account for like each layer having its own box shipped, or are 2 shipped per case? How does it work?
So people are speculating that the 8,000 for the party wagon was probably like one of X. Like maybe that's why some people have it and some people don't. Like
Okay.
this first 8,000 made it, but then the rest are waiting. But that layer, that's such a small number.
Yeah.
There probably aren't additional shipments. Like nobody's still waiting on it. So that could be the total run on that, which is very low.
That is low. Pixel Dan had
So-
one, and I think he got it for free. So
Well, we don't know that. We can speculate.
I'm speculating.
If he did, he probably had to say, so it'd probably be easy enough
Oh.
to find out.
Sure.
But the repercussion of this is there were more layer pieces like Donnie's lab in the kitchen, and those may not happen because this didn't sell enough. It's possible that we don't see these additional pieces because people balked at the insane price of the layer.
Right.
So,
It looks
we'll see
nice,
what happens.
but it's just too much.
It looks nice, but the price is just insane. Like,
Sure.
it's just insane. It's just too much for what you get, which is a diorama.
Diorama.
Diorama?
What's a diorama?
Another thing that looks nice, but the price is insane, is this Buzz Lightyear Infinity Pack Signature Series robot. I don't know if you know what this is.
I think
But-
have I seen it? It's not very large, right? It's about...
It's not. It's like maybe 12 inches, maybe a little bit
Is it
bigger.
close in concept to that self-transforming Optimus Prime?
I do think it's made by the same people. I do
Okay.
think the
So I
Hasbro
know
is
exactly
working
what you're talking about, and you want to know what my major qualm is with it?
What's your major quarrel?
is
total lack of morals.
Yes. Our skimpy suits, they ain't so bad. They seem to
entertain your dad.
Very good. But no, it's
That's
the
my
figure.
favorite.
It's the figure stand
Oh, that holds him, the flight
that
stand?
holds them up. Yeah, like
because he's hovering. His feet don't touch the
Oh,
ground.
is he hovering? Oh, that's silly
Yeah.
too. Oh, okay. See, I want to see this guy
they-
like walk like
No, I
like how
know.
they do in
Yeah,
Small
he would
Soldiers. I
fall
think
over.
that's what it
he
needs
would
to
fall
be.
over. It's just like pretend walk. Like maybe you could put fake ground under him.
Oh, sure, but not too much fake ground, or it might grind his gears.
Oh God, can't have that.
Yeah.
So this thing costs $1,000 right
Too
now.
much. Wow.
I'm sure by next Christmas this will be in the Black Friday, like
Be
entertainment
at
Black
Ollie's.
Friday deal.
Oh, okay.
It might be at Ollie's. It might be because that's a lot of money. Maybe Hasbro would just take them back at that point and use the parts for the next thing. It's cool. There's this video series with Adam Savage, who seems to do a lot of work with Hasbro. Like he was breaking down the Proton Pack.
Right.
So they call him, and anytime they want to give their product a little cred, it's like, look, it's a robot. But if they wanted to send us one,
Oh, sure.
maybe it's as cool as the Beast Lab. Like
Maybe it is.
I was so fascinated with that super cheap Buzz Lightyear that you put water in and it makes
Hey, that was wonderful.
like the smoke. And this does exactly that. You fill it with water and it creates the exhaust.
Oh, nice.
So it has the same gimmick as that like $10 figure, but 100 times more. But it looks great. And you know, our dream, at least my dream, has always been to have small soldiers in reality. Mm-hmm. So I count this as one step closer, and that's okay. That's good. That's good enough for me. Let's see what the future brings. So NECA likes to put out these checklists for all their products. And in the past, this has been a nice way to preview things that have not been announced. They just sneak in little characters in there.
Yes.
Yeah. So we know that they are re-releasing those trench coat turtles, the disguise. What are they called? The like
Turtles in Disguise.
Turtle in Disguise. Yeah. We know they're re-releasing those individually without the disguise stuff, but the same like better articulation and the like swappable head stuff. And they're doing like these are ultimate versions. And then they're packing like all new accessories in there. And then there was like a buddy character like from somewhere from the cartoon, like each one gets a little buddy. So they put these on the checklist and they called them Pizza Club. And people were like, oh, are we gonna have to clip off the UPC codes like back in the day, our pizza points, our flag points from G.I. Joe, and send away for these? Like people were getting all excited about what this could mean.
You know what they should have done? The real bad thing would be to submit your UPCs from all your unopened figures to get them.
See
people,
it
would be like one of those situations. Like you can either save the right hand or the left hand, but you have to cut it off yourself. Which one do you choose? They'd be like, no, it's not worth it. I need the UPC.
You know, if they were smart, they would do that because it would help that secondary value, and people would be jumping all over those. Because then the ones that were left mint in box would be worth so much more. I would love that. I kept all mine mint. So anyways, NECA confirmed that this is just sort of a fun name. They just wanted to designate this as something. So they called it Pizza Club. Someone had a really nice idea that maybe these would come in packages that looked like the Burger King VHS boxes.
Right.
But I don't think it's even that far. They're just calling it something. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a way to designate that these are from this set.
Don't look too much into it, guys. It's just a Pizza Club. That's all it is.
Speaking of Burger King, speaking of Pizza Hut, someone posted a picture of all the different Pizza Hut puppets that they've done over the years.
Okay.
They did Land Before Time, Casper, Eureka's Castle, Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
What am I missing?
I don't know what you're missing.
They had a picture of this set of koalas, and I had no idea what it was. I don't know if it's an American release, but that was one I didn't recognize.
I don't have any recollection of that. The puppets were fun. I do have a lot of fond memories going to sit-down meal, obviously, at Pizza Hut. And then at the end of the meal, my mother would always be like, can we just get a full set of the puppets? Maybe 2 full sets of the puppets? and that was that. And then we'd never go back to Pizza Hut for the promotion. So it wasn't like a
They
weekly
let you
thing.
do it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we had to go back every time.
Oh, really? No, my mom was like insistent.
Oh,
She was
I
like,
loved it.
She'd like, I'd like 3 sets for each one of my children to have a Casper puppet set. And they'd be like, sure, why not? This lady wants
The Land Before
12.
Time had 6 different characters.
Oh, that's
a
insane.
lot.
I know what, I have all those. They're in the dinosaur bucket.
Oh, yeah. I have so many of them.
Yeah.
Oh, we would go back so much. I don't know, like thinking back to how many I have, because like at least my sister was getting her own set too.
Right.
We couldn't have gone. We couldn't have gone to Pizza Hut 12 times during the course of that promotion. There's no way. That
There's
happened.
no way.
Maybe. I love the Eureka's Castle one. That's like the only merchandise for that show, and they look great.
I believe it.
Did you ever watch that on Nickelodeon?
Yeah, with the dragon, Magellan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magellan, sure.
Yeah.
And they had Batty, I think was his name. Was
Yeah.
it the Bat character. And then Eureka.
Eureka's Castle.
I always liked the Moat Twins. They were just like these, like, they looked the most like the Muppets to me. They were just like strands.
It was good costume puppetry for you. You probably enjoyed it. That's why you enjoyed it. You were like,
enjoy a good puppet.
Puppets.
This year I was proud of myself that I watched Muppet Family Christmas on YouTube, which is
Oh.
the original cut that has the Fraggles and Sesame Street in it.
Okay, nice.
And this is the greatest thing, because this has allowed YouTube has allowed this to stay on their servers for 5 years. Like, no one from Disney, no one from whoever owns the Fraggles, and no one like whoever owns Sesame Street.
Yeah.
None of them have been like, pull it down. They just let it fly. This
There
is
we
like
go.
their gift to Muppet fans, because it's the best. This is the best representation of the Muppets, because you get everything. You have minimal Miss Piggy, who is the worst part of the Muppets. It's just such a good, I don't even know how long it is, 20 minutes, but it's my favorite Muppet anything. And then we watched Christmas Carol Muppets, which the internet has finally come around and declared this the best version of the Christmas Carol. And it is. It's the best.
Better than Scrooged? I like Scrooged.
Yeah. Better. I've never watched Scrooged all the way through.
Oh, no kidding.
And you don't even like Bill Murray that much.
I like Bill Murray enough. I don't think I ever went on record saying I didn't like Bill Murray.
Oh, we have the tape. Pull the tape.
Okay. Find that, please.
I will. I'll use
Okay.
that technology where you just type in the word.
Type in the word
and
Bill
it, like,
Murray.
searches through the audio. Yeah.
Okay,
Type in
there we go.
Murray. How many times could we have said Murray?
And not many. You'd probably find it right
Not too
away. Yeah.
It'd pop up right away.
Okay. That's your task.
So I've gone on record as saying I love mini things. I love the Mega Gross Minis, mini brand, the Disney mini brands. We were really
A lot of
excited
small
about.
stuff.
There's this Small Soldiers. I love it all.
Oh.
There's this competitor to the mini brands called Miniverse from
Yes.
MGA, who I think makes Bratz.
Yep.
Is that their claim to fame, Bratz? Now, I resisted these because you were explaining this to me, where there's an element of glue that you have to create this item and then you harden it with a light.
Yes.
And
Or
I
the
was
sun.
like, gross. Or the sun, but you're supposed to use like a blue light.
It's a UV light. That's all it is. It cures.
A
It's
UV
resin.
light.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was just like, gross. I don't want no part of this.
Okay.
But I bought one for my wife before Christmas,
Yep.
and it was a turkey. And the resin acted as glaze for
Okay.
the turkey, so it made it shiny.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with these. We both did. We love these now. So we got the gingerbread house, and it's
Okay.
fun because it's an activity.
Right.
Because you have to put, everything is its own separate piece. So on the
Right.
gingerbread house, every gumdrop is an individual piece. You have to use the little tweezers to put it on there.
Yes.
And it's like, as you do it, you learn more about the process, where it's like, okay, I don't have to wait till the end to harden all of it. I can do it piece by piece so it doesn't break as I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And then if you don't like what you did, you could just crack it all open and start over again.
Oh.
Because it's just like glue, and like glue, if you break it, it breaks. Like you can pop it out.
Sure.
So I love these. And then, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, we That was my daughter's big gift for Christmas, from us at least, was the I don't know if they call it the pantry set, the mega set. Target had it on an end cap. It was that $125 value.
Yeah.
We got it for like $45. So we've got so much of these now. And like literally it's like, here kids, here's 25 minutes of time that you can spend building this if you can, or do 6 of them. I don't care.
Can you buy more resin, or you only get what it comes with? Like,
You
can
get
you buy
what
it
it
just
comes
off
with.
the shelf?
I don't know if you can find
Is it just like you
It's
just go
like
like
a
a model
hobbyist
shop?
thing. Yeah, model
hobby shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes me. It made me think of people who would make like airplanes. Like, you would use the glue.
Oh sure.
And that just made. That's why it's like, oh, this is gross. But
You
no, it's so
find-
much fun.
Do you find
so
that
much
like
fun?
the applicator for the resin is like extremely hard to squeeze? Like it shouldn't even be.
Yes.
Like a child can't even
100%.
squeeze this.
It makes no sense. I
No.
had to use the little like spatula and just go in there.
Oh,
like you're getting
really?
the last bit of peanut butter out of the
Yeah.
jar and just layer it on there.
So I did the root beer float. That was the first one we got.
Uh-huh.
Was the root beer float, and I've done a fish tank and 2 candles. And the fun thing about the candles is they're scented. So yeah,
that is fun.
Yeah.
I love these. The new set has drink dispensers.
Okay.
So there's like a soda machine with 2 different sodas. I need these.
They should do a
I'm really
gross
excited
out.
about these now.
They should do a gross out one. That would be awesome.
They should. I mean
that be fun?
that might be why they haven't announced the next Mega Gross Minis, because I saw that Mini Brands has agreed that this is a good idea and they're copying it, so they're doing their own version with like the glue and the resin and the harden.
Okay.
But it looks like theirs comes with its own light that is shaped like a chef's hat.
Well, I
So it's
know
like you don't have to find your own light.
I know there's a couple sets. There's a small kitchen set that you actually take the item and put it in the oven, and the UV light is integrated into the oven. And you
That's
get your own, because resin heats up. You get your own set of oven mitts to put on your fingers,
Love it.
and then you just go like this and pull
That's
out the
so
item.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is great.
Kids
This
got
this
it
is a whole,
made this-
a whole
this-
new thing.
yeah.
Yeah. This is the new technology. How do we incorporate this into action figures? I feel
Right.
like there's got to be a way, right?
Like, forget sticker application. We want like detailed 3D sculpts that we
Yes.
can like applicate onto faces and hands and
Any
parts of the
character
body.
that's like a jar of goo. Like,
Yeah.
there's got to be enough of these that we can figure something
right.
out. And
Or if
drop
you
all
want
the
to
little pieces.
if you want to customize a figure, like give him a beard,
yes!
give him like an eye patch.
Give him a beard.
you know,
Make
really
the hat
get
stay on.
yeah.
This is like when they
Stop.
made creepy crawler action figures.
I do
you remember that?
Yes, I do.
This they need to bring them immediately. Who do I talk to? We need to bring these back.
Nobody's
This
working
is-
at
this is
Hasbro right now to
$1 million.
listen, so don't worry.
Nobody's working at Hasbro. They're not. I called I called the building where everybody's leaving. Nobody answered. Damn
Nobody
it.
answered. Damn it.
Yeah,
Believe it
this is
or
going to be
not,
the new
we're-
big thing.
Yeah.
Is glue, resin,
glue.
hilarious. All right, let's get into some of your stuff. You want to give us a review of Rebel Moon?
Rebel Moon, build as Zack Snyder's Star Wars.
I didn't hear that.
You
I
never
wanna
heard
know
that?
who's
God,
calling-
I heard it.
I've seen a lot of marketing for this shit.
didn't
I
hear
haven't
that?
heard anybody dare call it Zack Snyder's, because why would he thinks he's his own greatest. Why would he need to compare himself to Star Wars?
This is
He'd be like, this is my own Justice League.
This was the story, and this was the story that he pitched to Lucasfilm to become a Star Wars story.
Oh, and they said no, and
They
he
may
made
have
it
said
anyway.
it, so he's like, I'm gonna bring it somewhere else.
Well, now I have to see it.
Yeah.
Now I have to see it.
So it's essentially just Seven Samurai again, which was essentially what original Star Wars was, and then it's got that Zack Snyder flair and filter to it, and everything's either in slow motion or the action's just too intense, and it just looks like a video game cutscene. So I zoned out pretty quickly. I couldn't tell you a damn thing about this movie, and
Is there sand? A lot of sand?
I couldn't tell you. There's like,
Damn.
all right, here was my complaint because someone asked me about it.
Yeah.
The main antagonist, they have like this, it was almost more akin to the Fifth Element than anything else. So if you're
Okay.
familiar with the Fifth
weird-
Element and their aesthetic and their style, I would say it's a better companion piece to that than say a Star Wars. Just not quite there. So just like a little bit more serious than Fifth Element allowed itself to be.
Sure.
But in this movie, the bad guys, they dress like space Germans, and they have
Lederhosen.
ties.
What are they wearing?
Like bad Germans.
Oh, bad Germans.
Yeah, like
so it's very subtle. It's a very subtle film.
right. So, like, I don't care for future movies. I was talking to a friend at work. I don't care for future movies where ties are still a thing.
Okay.
So
you think we should have moved past that?
I feel
as
like
a
we've moved
society?
past that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
you like the little Tic Tacs that they have in Star Wars, like
right?
That shows like
fine.
how proper you are.
But I don't need to see a tie. I'm like, why is there a tie present in my future?
Sure.
It's my biggest qualm.
That's what they put on the box. Your review. I don't like that there's ties. That was the best review they could find.
There you go.
The tie has really bothered me.
Throw it up
I
on
can't tell you
Rotten
much
Tomatoes.
else.
Throw it right up there.
Yeah, no ties.
There's no ties in the future for me.
So was seeing Rebel Moon the worst thing that happened to you this week?
No. I was God. I was wet for a good portion of the beginning of the week. And by wet, I mean my basement flooded.
Well, okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You really left
You're
that hanging
goddamn
out
welcome.
there. Are you waiting for the Michael Scott
That's
call
what she
out or
said.
something?
That's what she said.
That's
no.
what she said.
No. Tuesday morning, we had an unprecedented amount of rain. Tuesday morning, Monday afternoon, I go home. I look in my basement. I look on my new side of the basement, dry as a bone. I wake up. My kid on Tuesday. My kid goes, "Dad, can you get the Ghostbusters from the basement?" I say, "Sure." I go down. I see a small puddle of water at the base of my stairs. I immediately freak out. I grab the Ghostbusters for my kid just so he's out of the way. I run next door. I go down, 4 inches of water on the floor. No. Yeah. And I'm freaking out.
4 inches.
I call my wife. I sound like someone was murdered. So.
They're about to be.
Yeah, the sump pump.
What do you do?
The sump pump didn't turn on.
Oh, you have one? Like,
we do.
There?
Yeah, we do. We had to call the fire department. They had to bring a pump. They had to pump out the basement. I had to rip up rugs. I had to throw out items. Thankfully, a lot of the Christmas stuff wasn't down there being stored. I did have the turtle layer not set up yet, but in the box, and it was completely submerged and saturated. I had Indiana
that's made
Jones
of cardboard
figures.
too.
Yeah. No, well, so here's the crazy thing. So I had it in the shipping box still from Amazon. No, from Walmart. And then I had the interior box, but then the cardboard was wrapped so well, like the backdrop and the stickers, they're preserved.
There you go. Look at that, Playmates, doing a good job.
Thank you, Playmates, for your packaging.
Playmates. Yeah.
So no, on the other side, not so bad. I did lose some stuff that I was going to open anyway, so that's the biggest loss. But just like, it made me really think about like how much I care about like this stuff. Sure. And like, do I assign value to it? Do I keep going? Like, it could be here today and gone tomorrow. So that was sad.
To the attic.
No, the attic's
Everything
worse.
goes to the attic.
No, everything like I said, everything's
if your attic floods, you have bigger problems.
Right.
You build your ark.
So yeah, that was my bad news. It encompassed all of my Tuesday, most of my Wednesday.
Damn.
Yeah. So, but nothing really destroyed.
Tear the whole thing down.
No, I can maintain it. No. It's good. Okay. I got the dehumidifiers in, and the air blower, and the new sump pump installed. And
did the bottom row of the vintage collection behind you get wet?
No,
it just made.
It's a minor miracle. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, damn.
So,
well, I had a flooding issue.
You
with
did
one of the hurricanes, and that taught me to not leave shit on the ground.
Right.
I was just like, whatever. But yeah, water, man. Rock beats paper, water beats toys. It's
water beats house.
Mids and box. Yeah, water beats house. You're not gonna win that one.
No.
Well, I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
It seems like you've made a realization that you don't care about toys anymore.
It's true. Or I don't
Every
care
week
about
it
toys
seems
and
like
boxes.
we're realizing we don't care about toys.
What do we care
But
about? We care
we're a
about
show
toys.
about toys. So we have to kind of care. We have to care about.
We
them.
care.
Care about.
I
them.
care enough.
Care about the concept of them. We need them to exist.
I care that I can see my kid
My
playing
house.
with the toys and have fun.
I don't care about that so much.
No?
But you're a better father than I am. Clearly.
No. You let your kids beat on chess pieces. I was like aghast. I was like, oh my gosh, these savage children.
You go to these parks and they have like the giant chess pieces that are
Right.
made of hollow plastic or checkers. They checkers and chess, like you
Yeah.
can play like a full game or something like it's friggin' Alice in Wonderland. And their first instinct is to grab them and toss them at each other like they're melee weapons.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds like fun, and I joined in.
Oh,
And
nice.
We just threw chess. We threw these little horses, the knights, whatever they're, the rooks.
okay.
We threw rooks at each other. Beat the rook out of each other. It was
Very
great.
good.
It was
Well,
very
that's
fun.
good.
It was
That's
very
fun.
good. And then we went to Cheesecake Factory and spent thousands of dollars. 'Cause
Wow.
The cost of food is not gonna allow us to live much longer. Like, Jesus Christ. The food. Can we get the Soylent Green going, please?
Yeah.
It's people. Yeah, but how much does it cost? That's what I want to know.
Right?
All right, let's speed through a couple of things. CM Punk had his first WWE match in almost 10 years at the Garden tonight. He wrestled Dominic Mysterio. He came out wearing plain black trunks. Very exciting figure when they finally do that one. At least he wasn't wearing the long boys as they call them, the long tights, which is just not what I think of CM Punk. So hopefully Triple H was like, you got to wear the tights. That's what CM Punk looks like. So his opponent was Dominic Mysterio, who is the son of Rey Mysterio. But there was a storyline back when Rey was a younger man, Dominic was a younger man, where it was revealed that Eddie Guerrero was the actual father of Dominic Mysterio, which is not true, but some people think it kind of maybe could be true, but it just made me think this movie, The Iron Claw, came out. We were talking about Zac Efron earlier. It's been getting pretty good reviews. Not a ton of people saw it because it's a limited release, but if this does well, maybe we'll see more movies based on wrestlers. Yeah. And somebody floated the idea that they should do Eddie Guerrero's story and that it could be played by Pedro Pascal, because he does bear pretty striking resemblance to Eddie Guerrero.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we.
So
can
everybody's doing their dream casting now.
Yeah.
Who can play who?
Get a resurgence in the Young Rock. Maybe that can come back.
No, The Rock.
Yes.
I don't know what he's doing, but he was dressed up like that photo from back in the day where he had the fanny pack and he was leaning against the wall. You know what I'm talking about? That famous photo.
There's a famous photo of The Rock.
Oh, he's got the turtleneck. He's got the black turtleneck and the gold chain.
That's...
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no,
it's
that's
like a
sounding.
meme.
Yes, I know what you're
okay.
talking about.
So he was just dressed like that. And he even had like fake hair, and he just did like a selfie video, and he posted it with no context, like on Christmas Eve, and we still don't know what it's from.
He's
like,
just bored.
I don't want to say he's losing his mind, but a little strange. Going back to the Iron Claw for a second, the part of that movie that is being shared most on the internet is, do you know who Ric Flair is?
Yes.
Ric Flair, very famous, has a very distinct look and voice, and he does woo, which I cannot replicate, but it's a very famous sound. And they have that character in the movie, but the person they got to portray Ric Flair looks and sounds nothing like Ric Flair, and the internet is not having it because there are so many people who can do great Ric Flair impressions.
Yeah.
They're like, why not like do a voiceover at the very least? And it got to be somebody that looks a little bit more like him than this guy. So it's like this guy is either having the best or worst week ever because everybody is sharing that he's in this big movie.
Yeah.
But nobody likes the job he's doing.
I feel like this movie is being marketed wrong on purpose. Like it's giving off. Well, no, it's kind of giving off like this Fast Times vibe to it. So it's kind of like leading people in like, oh, maybe it's like a comedy or like a coming of age story, but like it's a very like tragic story of this family.
Very tragic story.
Yeah.
It's a very
So I
tragic
feel
story.
like
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to get people into the theaters by like marketing like the happy moments and like the hey, you remember when we floated down the river and drank beers and ate burgers? That was great. And like you go in, you're like, oh my god, they all die at the end practically.
Well, they did say that this is the director's Star Wars, so
Yeah.
I heard that in the marketing.
It almost
I
gets
don't
me
know.
in there. I don't know. We'll see.
It's a weird release because it's released with only a couple of weeks left in the year.
Those are intentional.
Limited release.
Yeah.
I think just to get everybody qualified for all the awards. And then
Right.
maybe
No, that's how
they'll
it is.
Re-release it later. Yeah. Movies are weird. I don't know. I thought it was one of those things that was going to be on Netflix immediately. So I was disappointed to find out I have to go to a theater.
Yeah.
Which is probably not going to happen.
I was looking
Probably
looking for Migration this weekend because I was like, I've seen this
God.
thing littered up and down. The kids just want to watch it. I was gonna go on streaming and find it, and I'm like Migration, and then all of a sudden like YouTube pops up with geese, and I'm like, no, damn it.
No,
And then I'm
damn it.
like trying it again, and I'm like, when does this come out? I look at my phone. I'm like, when the hell does this come out? And then I'm like, oh, it's only in theaters. Kids, we're not going. Not happening.
Kids are like, I need my Aquafina.
Right?
Aquafina only voices birds in disappointing animation now. That's her.
That's
was
it?
Scuttle in Little Mermaid.
Oh, makes sense. Okay.
She's been pigeonholed.
She was a dragon
As a bird.
once. No, she was a dragon.
Yes, that's true.
But she
But that
flew,
doesn't
so it was
work
close
with what
enough
I'm
to a
saying.
bird.
No, you ruined it.
I'm sorry. Someone would have ruined it. Get it out of the way now before someone in the comments is like, actually, Sisu. Moron.
Idiot.
Stupid 50-year-old in a toddler shirt.
Everybody in our comments is very kind.
Yeah.
Except on YouTube, where they are unnecessarily mean. I don't understand.
I
These
stay
people
away
on
from
YouTube
I
are
stay
so
away from
mean.
that. Every time you mention it, I go and look, and then I feel bad for a few days.
There's so many.
No.
So many comments on YouTube. I don't understand the culture in YouTube where you have to comment and it has to be mean.
Oh.
It's crazy. All right, very quickly, if there's anything I like more than toys, it's money. So this is the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. This is from Hasbro's, this is from Mattel's latest WWE Legends, a Target exclusive. He comes with an alternate head of modern day Ted DiBiase, who is now an old man, and this is the head. On the podcast I listen to, Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, I should have, but I don't. So they said that this is such a stupid alternate head that nobody thinks of him as looking like this, and they would be surprised if anybody would display this figure with this head. So much so that one of the hosts, Matt Cardona, said that if somebody displayed this figure with this head for 1 year, they would give the first individual to do so $1,000. So all I have to do is take a picture of this figure in my collection every day for a year, 365 days. And I'm already on day 6. So there is one person who started doing this before me, and he's on day 30.
Okay.
So I have to hope that something happens to him
Yeah.
before the time is up, or I will have wasted my life. But I have a pretty good feeling about it. I already set a Google alert so that every day I will be alerted. I bought 2 of him so that one of them I can take to work with me.
Just in case. Okay.
And if I lose him, I have a backup that I can take on vacation or whatever.
Yeah.
So I am in it to win it. This is
Wow.
this is the $1 Million Man, but he's gonna be the $1,000 broski to me.
Wow. He's like your little wandering gnome or traveling gnome.
I know I need to take him with me. I finally have a figure that I can take with me, my
There you go.
companion photo figure.
So it counts.
All right,
It
Bill.
counts if you travel with him.
I'm gonna say it counts because
Okay.
what are we supposed to do? Just not leave the house for a year? Like you have to travel. What are you
He's
supposed to do?
Well, are you gonna like display him like to collections at your work office, and then like your vacation? Like you're gonna bring other things and be like, gotta set up the vacation display. Can't be without it.
I just feel like he has to be with me in some sort of way. And
God,
get a
can you
picture of
imagine
him,
the
maybe
stress?
with other toys?
Like if you like sleep in, like I slept in with putting the kids' toys out, and you're like, I gotta get somewhere with this guy.
I know. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Like in the
Without
rule,
him.
I mean, they could. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm trying to be as creative. Like I had pictures with Santa and everything.
Yeah.
So he'll be like seasonal. Maybe I'll dress
good.
him up in certain things. We'll see we'll see where this goes. We'll see.
It's
We'll
just
see
like-
how this progresses.
Fair enough. What happens when you're like, when you run out of space on your phone and you're like, I can either delete a photo of my kid or a photo of this toy.
Is that photo of my kid gonna be worth $1,000?
Right.
That's a pretty
You can
easy
find
question.
the blurriest photo of your kid and be like, nah, it's blurry. It's okay. I'm sorry.
Do you just keep every photo you ever take of them? You don't like audit them?
I don't.
Oh, I go through and just keep the best ones.
Oh,
I'll,
really?
Like, heart them. You know, you can like heart them.
Oh,
and then
I
I'll,
figure all mine are
the rest
great.
of them can go away. Why
Oh,
do I need
no.
this awful photo? Yeah,
Well, not
that's
all
why you
awful.
always run out of space on your phone.
Like when the
Yeah.
kids are like that and smiling, maybe I keep one. I don't know.
Well, now with AI, you can make anything look good.
Sure.
One last thing for this week. You talked about your big Facebook Marketplace haul where you got the King of the Hill figures.
Yes.
But they didn't include the accessories. So you need some
Right.
beer cans, you need a dog, you need a fence, and you need a trash bag. Now, one of our listeners reached out and offered to send it to you. Did you talk to this person?
I have not yet. No, it was just such a busy week.
Of course
It's
not.
such a busy
Such a
week.
busy- Yeah, it's such a busy. I can't send a
Save it
message.
for
It's
after the
I'm too
holiday.
busy. I'm too busy.
I'm too
I'll save
busy.
it. I hope he
I'm
still
too
has
busy.
it.
Ankle
Someone else is gonna
deep
get
water
it.
in the basement, and I'm worried about my toy collection. Ankle deep water. What the hell?
All right.
Ah.
I mean, that's fair. We'll say.
Yeah.
Tell him that though if you do reach out.
I will.
So we'll give him a shout out. William Bruce West, host of West Week Ever. He's very nice to offer this up. Listens to the show and
Oh, that's nice.
wants to help you complete your grail
Of all the
collection
figures
of
to complete
King of the Hill.
first, it would be this one. Yeah, Peggy.
Would be
Yeah,
Peggy.
okay.
Yeah,
Great.
with her trash bag. Yeah. Don't minimize this offer. This
No.
is a very nice
It is
offer.
a nice. I'm
That
not
probably goes
minimizing.
for like $20.
I'm just saying that Peggy isn't my favorite character.
No. Really? She's up there. She's very
she?
funny.
Yeah.
I like when she was writing for the newspaper and she ran out of things. So she
Her
just
musings?
started saying to mix different chemicals together.
Yeah.
And then she created she created something very toxic and they had to go pick up all the newspapers before anybody
sure.
read it. So fun.
So fun.
All right, Bill. Anything else for this big week?
No, I got nothing.
No. Nothing else.
Nothing.
All right, everybody. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
I still want